woman in leadership. Maybe you are starting out in a new role. Maybe you have been a leader for a long time and you just realized or you think that someone just stole or copied your idea. I know it can be incredibly frustrating. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a few insights that will help you when you have been subject to someone stealing your idea or copying your idea as a leader. This is a Q&A, and you absolutely want to stay until the very end of this video because I'm going to share with you over 20 years worth of experience in situations that I personally have been in where my ideas have been stolen, yes, and my ideas have been copied, yes, to help you when this situation happens because I know how angry you are right now. This video is intended to help you to grow. This channel specifically focuses in on advanced communication skills and strategies that will help you to communicate more confidently and concisely under pressure as a leader. If you happen to be in my direct target audience as a woman in leadership, you're welcome to reach out to me at exciteexcellence.org and let's have a conversation about how I can help you go to that next level. Now, if you happen to be outside of my audience, you're a man in leadership or someone that's thinking about leadership and you're not quite sure just yet, I guarantee you that you're going to learn a lot of information from this video and this channel. Now, when you have these situations come up when someone's copying your idea or they have stolen your idea, I want to share with you just a couple insights. And if you've ever had this happen to you before, you know what to do. Put it in the comments below so we can talk about it. But one of the first things you want to do is to validate that this has actually happened, that it's legitimate. The second thing I would recommend for you to do is to recognize that this is a very, very pivotal moment in your career. I'm going to go into that more. That's why you want to watch the video. Third, do what you can to take the emotion out of the situation. And fourth, you want to stay tuned for that one. So definitely watch this video all the way until the end. As I mentioned, one of the first things that happens is that you notice someone has either taken an idea or stolen an idea from you. The first thing you need to do is you have to validate that this is legitimately the case. Did this actually happen? Did this person actually steal my idea? The way for you to do that is to go back and look to see if they've ever mentioned this before or has all of this happened after you mentioned your idea. Now, before I go into this in more detail, I want to go to the chat because this is a live video. I want to say hello to MD Delwar. Hello, welcome, welcome. We have Bree Jasmito. 4816 says, hello, beautiful girl. Hello, welcome, welcome. And MD Delwar says, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today. And have you ever been in a situation where someone has stolen your idea or copied your idea as a leader? Has it happened to you? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Put it in the comments below. Okay, so we have Bree Just Middle says my dream girl. We have Toasted Seagull 9. Hope you're doing well. And so I'll wait for some more things to come in. As I mentioned, when you feel as if or you believe that someone has taken an idea, has stolen an idea from you, or something along those lines as a leader, then you have to validate that this is actually correct. So take some time to look and see, has this person done this in the past? I will share with you personally what's happened to me as an entrepreneur if we have time to do that today, but this is really a question and answer. And so if you're new to my channel, I'm here to support you any way that I can as it relates to communicating confidently and concisely under pressure. If you want to master those very high stakes, high pressure situations as a leader and not be the person that freezes and doesn't know what to say or cannot control their facial expressions, this is the only channel that you will need to watch here on YouTube. As I mentioned, make sure the information is correct first. Make sure that you know for sure this person is copying you. Do a little bit of research. A lot of times, what I've found is that when someone copies your idea or they steal your idea, they have done nothing related to your idea ever. And then suddenly, your idea or your statement or some of the words that you're using for your idea suddenly start to pop into their presentations, or it may pop into their conversations, or it may be stated in some discussions they're having with other people. This is how you can validate it. If you know for sure that this person has not talked about, let's say, a specific topic in your industry, and they suddenly start talking about it, but it's related to your specific idea, then I will share with you that person is definitely stealing your idea. So then we're going to go into that next step that I mentioned to you that you will have to keep in mind when this happens. And it may be a little bit different than what you think, but let me go to the chat first. Okay, so we have Bree Jasmiddle says you are looking beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have Big Al1 says patent your idea. That is fantastic. And Big Al One, welcome, welcome. Patenting a patent on your idea is always very helpful. But there's going to be situations specifically where it may not be a large innovative idea that deserves a patent. It could be something specifically that you are working on either in your businesses, thank you for the heart emojis, friends, or in your as an entrepreneur, etc. But Big Al One, that's a very good idea. Okay, MD Delwar says, I like you and you can do it. Okay, thank you, friend. Cameron Lay, hope you're doing well. Swipe Bod, hope you're doing well also. And Big Al One says copyright. Absolutely. So these are all things that are being mentioned that are very helpful when you have an idea. Big Al is definitely speaking about it from the more technical side, especially if you have a big innovation or even a product or even a name that you want to be able to protect. Having a trademark, having your copyright, as Big Al One mentioned, and being able to patent your idea is incredibly important. Now, when you have a situation that comes up and someone copies your idea, I have to share with you something that a lot of people do not talk about. Are you ready? When this happens to you, I know you're going to be mad and I know you're going to be upset because I've been there. I've been there and I know what it feels like. You will be mad, you will be upset. But I do want to let you know that every person that has elevated to a certain level in their careers where they have become exceptional, which is everyone that follows my channel for sure. They have started to become a bit more visible and people are seeing them as an authority. They all go through this. If you have any favorite individuals that you follow any influencers, any entrepreneurs, any world leaders, they have all experienced this. And I want you to know, as my insight for you specifically, is that when this happens to you, just know that you are at a point in your career where you have elevated. Now, I know in the middle of the moment when you notice and you validate that yes, someone is actually copying you, this is the last thing you want to hear. Could care less if if you are at a heightened level of your career, etc. You're just angry and mad. But I want to tell you that this only happens when you are doing something really, really well. So try your best. I know as hard as it is to not be furiously mad, upset, because the person that is copying you is at a point in their career where they are not able to generate any intuitive ideas themselves that they have to copy someone else. So take it as a compliment that you are doing something very right in your career. Now we'll go into the third strategy in just a moment, but let me go into the chat first. MD Delwar says you are looking the best. Well, thank you so much. Big Al One says mail the concept to yourself. That's not a bad idea, also. Whatever it is that you're trying to do to protect yourself, you absolutely want to try to secure it as much as you can. Now, going into that, so we talked about validate it first. Second, understand that this is a part of growth. This is a part of you becoming an exceptional individual or an exceptional leader. You are going to have people copy you when you are doing very, very well. The third part of that is to do what you can to try to take the emotion out of it because it is so easy to be very, very upset and angry. And I talk about this a lot on my channel. When you become highly emotional, you may not react the way that you would react if you were acting as if you were the best version of yourself. It can be very, very difficult for you to do this, but this is one of the reasons why it's so incredibly for you to just take a step back and say, okay, you know what, this person is copying me, let me not be upset, let me do what I need to do to protect myself. So Big Al One mentioned this. There's a lot of things you can do when it comes to an idea. If it's not something you're trying to patent or etc., you may want to start having conversations with people. So if you notice that someone has been in a place where perhaps they are copying your idea or they have stolen your idea, then make sure you start having dialogue and conversations with other people. For example, if there's someone that is starting to maybe take some information that you have started to initiate, or you just start talking about it, and you find that they are starting to put it in their presentations, then you have to do a bit of back work, I would say, or reverse engineer the conversations you need to have to showcase that you are the actual person that did this first. This is a bit harder for you to do. Therefore, when you have big ideas or big situations that you plan on trying to manage or navigate, or initiatives you're going to launch, it is very helpful to have a couple people, if you trust them, okay? If you trust them to maybe talk about this topic specifically. Now, if it's a situation that comes up where it's someone that you do not trust, then you might have to mail it to yourself, right? Just as Big Al one mentioned a moment ago, you may have to actually mail it to yourself. Now, remember that even if somebody copies your idea, they copy your idea, they just stole your idea, they will never, 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 never be you. This is what a lot of people tend to forget when it comes down to this topic specifically. And this, I will share with you, is definitely more of a high stakes, high pressure type of situation, which is why I'm talking about it on the channel. But remember, the person can never be you. They may just want to copy you because what you're doing looks great. They don't know how to think for themselves. They can't come up with their own unique ideas. So they decide, I'm just going to steal her idea. I'm just going to steal his idea. And that's exactly what happens from time to time. But remember that this is something that can be a benefit to you because they can copy you all they want, but they will not be able to do it the way that you do it. So keep that in mind the next time you have a situation where someone is stealing your idea, copying your idea. Know that you're elevating. Know that this is a point in your career that many exceptional people end up encountering at some point in time, and that your emotions, you have to put them to the side. Be realistic about it, and just know that the person can never duplicate you. They can try, they can watch all your videos, they can read all your content. This person has probably been very quietly lurking and watching everything you do, but they can never be you. And that's the part that a lot of people fail to remember, is that they can't be you. They cannot be you whatsoever. And they will never do the things in the way or the manner that you would do it. I know this is a lot of information. We went through a few things. I'll share with you personally, when I talk about these type of strategies and these type of situations, they are definitely more high stakes, high pressure situations. And I had a conversation with someone a couple days ago who mentioned that, well, I'm not trying to climb the corporate ladder. I don't necessarily need support as it relates to communicating and those very under pressure situations. Well, I want you all to know that regardless of where you are, whether you're in the corporate world or you're not, maybe you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just graduating from college, maybe you are still in college, and maybe you're trying to figure out your life, being able to communicate under pressure is a skill that is absolutely a requirement for you to have if you are truly trying to do a lot more than the average person. And if you are, then this is a great place for you to be. Now, let me share with you what happened to me specifically, because I've been in those situations where someone's copied me or copied language that I've said. Let me know in the comments below if it's ever happened to you before. If it has, what happened and what did you do? Put it in the comments below, whether you're watching the live now or you are watching the replay. I will share with you that I found out that someone that I was following, connected with, etc., via social media, happen to start using some of the same language that I use as it relates to how I describe myself. Now, when I first noticed this, and I'm walking you through exactly what I did, when I first noticed this, I was I was not happy. Okay. I was not happy because I take a lot of pride in my business, Excite Excellence Incorporated, and I've done a lot to build my brand in terms of me communicating as a person that can manage those very high stakes situations for the past 6 years of the life of my business. Therefore, when I saw that a individual just happened to start using some of the language that I was using, I at first initial thought was, okay, I'm frustrated. But then I said, let me validate and confirm. And I confirmed that the person was actually using some of the information or some of the language specifically that I said to try to help promote their business. Now, instead of getting upset and getting on my phone and texting this person or sending them an angry message, I decided that, okay, this is the point in my career where this happens. I know that my brand is growing, my YouTube channel is growing, my business is growing, things are growing, and this is a part of the growth that happens when you're trying to do something a bit different than the norm. So I recognize that this is a part of growth. And I took it as a compliment. There must be something that I'm doing correctly as it relates to communicating and really focusing in on those high stakes communication skills for someone to not have their own intuitive thoughts in terms of how to articulate their value besides stealing the language that I specifically try to say with my audience. And what did I do? I took a look at it and I said, you know what? The person can watch every video I've done. They can watch every post that I've made, but they will never be Dr. Jacinta. Never. They will never have my 20 years of experience being a C-suite executive, being a director, managing people, managing projects, managing buildings, interacting with congressional leaders, being a public speaker, being on the news, and etc. They will never have that experience. So they can watch as much as they want to watch or copy me as much as they want to copy me, but they will never have that depth of insight that I have based on my own life experiences. What did I do? I continue to move along my way. Now, I'm not connected with that person, but I continue to move along my way because have found that if it is a situation or an interaction that you're having that is going to at the least bit annoy you and drain your energy away, and many of you know I'm very much of an advocate for staying very positive, not letting negative people take your energy away, then why would I stay connected to someone that is going to drain my energy? And so I decided not to. That is something that happened to me as an entrepreneur. Now, as a W-2 and etc., this situation has happened in the past, or I've had people borrow or steal my idea. But what I did to protect myself in those situations is to know that I have a big idea, and depending on what it is, I would share it with some people so that when this situation happened, they already knew, oh, Dr. Jacinta has spoken about this many, many, many months ago. This person is just copying it. Now, there are some ideas, as Big Al 1 alluded to, that are not necessarily for you to share to everyone else. Many of you know that I have something I'm working on. I cannot share it just yet because it is big and it's going to change the world, but it's not something I can talk about just yet. Now, this idea specifically, I'm not at the place to discuss it because there's a lot that goes into it and there's a lot of planning in place. Therefore, ideas like that, you do have to find trusted people that you can actually communicate with that can help you in terms of developing products and services or patents and etc. before you do that. So there is a place for what Big Al One mentioned. It just depends on your situation. But sometimes you may not be in that very innovative state or something you're developing or a product you're developing. It may just be simply an idea you had about a project you're working on, perhaps an initiative or something you felt that would be more beneficial for an organization. There's a lot of things that can come up with it. So just know that this situation, you will start to see this when you are growing as an individual. That means the light you have inside of you is shining so bright that someone just can't take it anymore and they have to put the shades on and see, well, what is this? What is this person doing? Are they really that great? And oh, when they find out that you are that great, then that's when they say, well, I'm going to copy what they do to see if it gives me success. A lot of people do this. Know that No one can be you. No one can be you. They will not be able to replicate you. They will not be able to replicate your experiences, regardless of if they are trying to steal your idea, copy your idea, or etc. I hope this gives you some information or some insights to consider whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are someone that is in the corporate world, or whether you're someone that's not in the corporate world. These are real challenges that people have a hard time articulating and talking about because they just simply do not know exactly what to do when someone's trying to take my idea and steal my idea. We go to that very negative, very angry emotional state, but I encourage you to think about it differently. No one can ever replicate you. Let me go to the chat really quickly. Big Al One says, there's an old saying, there's nothing new under the sun. New concepts and ideas are difficult to come up with. In today's world, effective solutions will be created by integration of multiple ideas. And Big Al One, that is a very good insight, and I appreciate you mentioning that. And I do agree with what you're saying. The integration of ideas is the best way to go. But you will have situations that come up where you see someone is doing a direct copy of what you are doing. There's a lot that is out there in the world. And as you mentioned, there's nothing new under the sun. There may be a different style that you are doing something and you notice someone may be copying you potentially. That's when you want to determine, well, how should I manage the situation? I know I've personally dealt with it as an entrepreneur. I've dealt with it as a C-suite as well, and as a director. I've seen how people can try to directly copy something you're doing, but a lot of times you have to validate it first. Sometimes you will not know if someone's actually copying what you're doing unless you it catches your attention and you say, "Wait a second, this looks exactly the exact same thing that I say all the time." It does happen, unfortunately. It happens to people many, many times, and this channel helps to prepare you for those very difficult conversations when they come up. Now, if you are new to my channel, I go live on YouTube typically about 7 times a week. My schedule has been a bit off the past week and a half because I've been doing a lot of things with my business. But some videos that you may want to take a look at if you're new to me or if this is your first time watching my channel that will help you to start building the fundamentals as it relates to communicating confidently and concisely under pressure are any videos on my live tab that talk about managing your emotions under pressure, eye contact, having difficult conversations, managing your tone of voice, and your body language and your facial expressions and how to use silence. I have updated the playlist that is on my YouTube channel. When you go to my channel page, you'll see how I have the playlist organized now to help you all because I have over 1,000. Yes, I did say that. I have over 1,000 videos here on my YouTube channel. And if you're new, I am in the process of creating the world's largest library for high stakes, high pressure communication for leaders on planet Earth. And I'm doing that by doing a lot of content here on YouTube. But if you watch any of those videos, it will give you a solid foundation for you to start working on to develop those skills when you need to communicate under pressure. If you have someone that happens to talk over you or interrupt you when you're speaking, you'll have an idea as to a couple strategies that may happen that may help you. If someone ask you a question and you completely are caught off guard and you freeze and you go blank, I have some videos there to help you. So there's a lot of information there. You'll see it as the fundamentals. I believe I have it listed on my playlist of high stakes communication. There's a lot of other videos there as well, and there are going to be some reaction videos coming up very soon, and I'm going to transition to pre-recorded. So the content I'm sharing with you now, the 7 days a week I go live here on YouTube. I've been live so much that I was on YouTube's live streamer research panel for a whole year because I go live that much on YouTube. But that's just the beginning. When I start doing pre-recorded videos, when I start with my reaction videos and I consistently upload on my shorts, which is something that I have a massive amount of content. I just need to upload it. You'll see a lot more content coming out of this channel. And I really want to support you. So if there's any topics while you're watching my videos that really resonate with you, or you think to yourself, I have a question about that, I had this situation, or whatever the case may be, just put it in any of the comments on the videos. I'd be absolutely more than happy to be able to give you some insight in terms of how you can navigate those situations And if it has a lot of depth to it, and I believe that a video would be helpful, I will do a video just for you and give you a shout out in that video as well. I'm here to support you in any way that I can. Please come to me with the hard things, the hard situations that you're dealing with professionally. That's my main focus, is dealing with things on a professional nature. So come to me with the hard situations, the hard conversations you're having, regardless of what it is. As a leader, I've probably seen quite a bit of it, and that's my expertise in the more challenging situations. So don't think that anything you're dealing with is too hard as it relates to your profession or your career. I probably have seen some variation of it. So I hope you all have an absolutely amazing weekend. I will be back live on Monday. My schedule is changing a little bit. So I'm finalizing the schedule. I'm going to send a post out this weekend to the audience so you know what the new schedule is going to be. Bear with me because I'm still getting the flow of everything in terms of being able to provide you with value as I'm in a commute, and especially on the evenings when I'm here. Let me know how I can support you, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing weekend. Bye for now.